And welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. And in this one I wanted to share this really cool challenge, and this is, by the way, a brand new series I'm starting on the daily UI challenge. And if you haven't heard of this is a challenge where on this website, I'll link it down below. You can go, and this website basically kind of allows you to practice designing become a better designer in 100 days by sending you an email every workday. So from Monday through Friday, it sends you one email per day. So you'll get one on Monday, Tuesday, etc. And in this email you have a challenge, basically a design challenge that they give you if you just sign up here, and I recommend you sign up. And first of all, I'm going to walk you through hopefully all of the 100 days if I can. And in this first day, what we have here to do is, see, I got this first email from them a long time ago. And in this first email, they just send you not a image of how the design should look, but you have the freedom to interpret it as you would like. So in this first one, they only give you the text and you can interpret it however you like. And for this first one, we need to create a sign up page, and I already done that. But instead of making a sign up page, I'm going to create a login page. And whoops, I already did create a login page, and I'm going to show you basically in this video how to create this for this first challenge. And through this series, I'm also going to talk about this really cool AdobeXD software that I use to design everything in. And we're going to learn a lot of tips and tricks like adding colors, etc. Also, you're going to learn how to design things, how I go about my thought process about how I create these buttons, color theory, etc. Also, I'm going to share a lot of websites, for example, like these ones that I use for designing and for generating colors, for removing background of images and all that fun stuff. And let's just see how I want to approach, first of all, making this design. First of all, a good thing to do is to choose a color first of all before you start making your design. And because this may come hard for you, then it's best to design your UI with the elements using only black and white. And where you need to kind of pop something out, like this button here, this is a call to action button. We need users to log in, and that's why we want to make this, give it a colored background so we can make it pop a little bit. And instead of using color, as I said, you can use just black here and make of course the text what is called, make the text white. So that's the first thing you can do to kind of don't worry about color first of all, and just design your thing without any color, and then you can add, let's just start with one color. You can start making your design with one color, and here you can see I've done just that. I have these for my login for. These are only grayish sort of. Instead of black, actually you can instead of black use this gray. You can use blue, but the point is to have one dark and one white color. And you probably want to use white color for your background because it's a neutral color and it makes you easier than to make a dark version of your app. Also, you would like to use a white background because it's easier for buttons like this and images. If you have, I don't have one here, but if you have images, then you can make them pop more because of this white background. So let's pretend that you've designed your design with black and white, and you want to choose only one color. Well, how you're going to choose what color to use? Well, first of all, there's this thing called every color has its own psychology, and every color kind of conveys a message to the user and invokes some feeling in the user. And if you type in on Google color psychology, then you're going to see that every color here, if I go to images and click here, you're going to see that every color has its own emotion. So if you're building, for example, the next PayPal, you may use blue because blue to the user conveys trust. And when you're using PayPal, a service for online payments, then you want your user to trust you and to be loyal somewhat. Or if you're using a software, for example, some healthy recipes, you would want to use green because it's healing nature and all this stuff. And if you're developing a website for Rolex, then you would want to use purple because it conveys luxury. And that's the first thing to consider when choosing color. What message do you want to convey to the user? And let's pretend that this is an app for some best software here, some luxury brand actually, and because it's luxury we're going to use purple. And to choose purple, just go inside AdobeXD and then press on R or to create a rectangle, or you can go up here and create one by dragging in, and then from fill you can go up here to choose this color, and if you want more darker you can push it all the way here, and then you can select this, go in the fill and copy its hex color, and to choose a kind of color scheme for your app, if you want multiple colors or even if you want multiple shades of the same color, you would go in this website that I'll link down below and click on here. This website just prompts you for one color. You need to specify one color and click on generate, and then this app will generate a nice color schemes for possible color palettes for your app. And here I really like those here at the bottom because these are pretty similar to one another, and you can see you have different shades of the same color over here, so you may want to use one of these colors. And if you don't like this website, then you have already pre-made color schemes on this product hunt page, and this is real easy. You don't have to even log in. You can just copy any hex of the color by clicking here, and you can save the color scheme by favoriting it on clicking here, and then you have your palettes, your scheme here. Another website that you might use to create or to choose color for your app is this Adobe Color website. And I want to drag your attention to these monochromatic colors and complementary. So if you want to use, let's say, this purple color, and if you click here and drag all the way, you can see we get kind of the similar thing we got here with the different shades of the same color. And you know, I said you choose first of all only one color probably, and this color should convey the message you are trying to convey to the user. You can even do multiple colors, multiple shades of the same color, or just two. And remember that the more colors that you add to your design, the more complex it gets. So from here I may do something like this color and this color, because they're just different shades and one is brighter and one is dark. So I may use this as a background, for example, and use this on my button or the things I want to pop out in the design. and make it more visible. And on this side you can use again the monochromatic color harmony, so you get different shades of one color, or we can go up to this purple one, and we can click on complementary, and complementary gives us colors that are completely different to one another, but they still very much complement each other. So here in this color palette, and you don't have to use all the 5 colors, you can only choose 2 or pretty much 1 if you already have a black and white design. So I may use this color now as the background, and you can copy its hex over here, and I may use this yellow one for my button so I can make it pop, because yellow is a color that grabs users' attention. And let's just now start creating or recreating this design. And I want to now talk about alignment and how you would go about aligning all these UI elements. And to create this artboard, you're going to press on A, and when you press on A, you get, it's a keyboard shortcut to get all these different artboards you can choose from. And let me just choose iPhone 8 because I like this one. Or actually no, let's choose the same one. Let's choose Google Pixel 4. Let's delete this and choose Google Pixel 4. And now we can and the thing I want for you to know is, first of all, when aligning these things, you want to make, when aligning things, here we have our elements, I should say. We have, let me first identify which are the elements I'm talking about. You have this bold kind of title, header, and then you have this body of text, and then you have a button. So here on the right side, this image is aligned, these elements are aligned perfectly and have only one line of alignment. And if you have multiple lines of alignment, that's basically bad design. This is bad and this is better, because you can see how much cleaner this looks and better aligned it looks just by aligning all of these things on one line instead of, and of course this is just written here for learning purposes and not in the actual design. And here, because the text is not on the same line as the body, and the button again is not on the same line, then there's really it doesn't look much clean. And again, in this picture applies the same thing. So if you just align things correctly, then you get a pretty good design. And that's what we're going to do right here. I'm going to just create those username and password fields by clicking on R and then dragging in, then clicking on V to get our cursor back, or clicking here. And also another thing, you may want to use this UI, this text field like this, but what I like to do is select it and go up here to get some rounded corners going on, and I'll get 20 for the rounded corner. And I'm doing this because all of the things in UI you look better when they have rounded corners instead of those edgy corners that we had previously, because it looks more natural. And I want to drag this like this, or maybe it was 10 only. Yeah, probably 10 is better. So this is the first element, and here we want to add in some text as well. And remember now the lesson we learned about alignment, you align things like this and not like this. That's why this is basically a bad design, and you would want to do things this way. And here I want to add a text just by doing T, clicking on T and then adding a text of username and clicking again on V. Whoops. And because we want to make this username kind of not popping so much, and we're not going to make it bold and actually choose extra light. And we may also choose, instead of this black color, we may use a little grayish color so it doesn't pop so much. And by the way, also want to quickly mention that every font, even the font, convey a message to the user, and there's different fonts depending that you need to use depending on your use scenario and your user. But don't worry for now, that I'm going to cover that in probably some next videos. I'm going to click on Command D to duplicate this, and I'm going to paste it here just to be consistent in our font, and I'm going to say password. And now I want to generate, this is if you're making a side project like I am, you need to create some logos for your design. Now let's see how you would go about creating this logo or any kind of logo. So for this I'll go inside Google Chrome, and here I have this page, or maybe I don't, actually I have. So I have this page that I'm going to link down below called Luca, or whatever you call it, that basically creates a logo for you. And here I want to first of all pick my industry, which is software. I'm going to press on continue, and then this website prompts you to choose some logos that you like, and it's going to create your logo based on this preference. So I think you need to choose 5 only, and I'm going to choose like 5. And then the next step is to create a color, and we set this is a luxury brand, so we're going to choose blue and press continue. Then I'm going to give it a name of my app, and that's going to be the name, and then some symbols, because it adds a symbol or an icon. It needs some more information, so you give it some more information and press on start customizing. Whoops, or maybe not. And then you have, these are basically the logos that you get. And here we have a nice little logo for our website. And this website, by the way, it's paid, but there's a way to work around it by just taking a screenshot of this logo. And there you go, you don't have to now pay for this website. But now when I made the screenshot, it had this white background, so we're going to remove this white background by going to this remove.bg website, and this basically, as you might have guessed, just removes the background. And I'm going to upload my image that I've just taken. Let's see if this is the one. It is, and it removes the background perfectly, as you can see. And after it's done its job, we're going to just press on download, and we're going to go inside AdobeXD and just pick our image, and here basically is our logo, and it's pretty big right now, so I'm going to lower it a little bit. And should I place it here? What do you think? Yeah, this looks fine. Or maybe it doesn't, because look, alignment, it doesn't align with these, so it probably looks cleaner if you align it like this, like I've aligned this one. And let me just tell you that this is not always the case. So you can see it looks, this logo looks again even fine if it's here. So, but the design principle says that you need to align it here. So we're going to do that. And by the way, now we can continue on the design. Since we have this logo, we can add in here again another one of these. And to keep the design consistent, we're going to be consistent now, talk about consistency. And to be consistent, we're going to create again the same form. I'm going to duplicate this, and this is basically going to be our button. And we don't need a border, and a fill would, instead of white, would be the color that we should have chosen before. And in, let's say it's this one color that we chose. We're going to copy its hex and paste it in here. And then also we want to be as consistent as in spacing as well. So you can see if I drag this here, it's not really consistent, but I think it's better to place this here so we can have the same spacing here and here, because just to be consistent as we can. And again, to be consistent in font, you need to use the same font as you used here. So I'm going to duplicate this and give it a fill of white, and then instead of this light, extra light, I'm going to choose bold, because we want to use bold so it pops more, because this is an important button for the user to see, because it's the login button. I'm going to place this here. Here it doesn't look fine because it's a button. And you know that on every login page, you can see that even just following this consistency in spacing, in font, using the same font, and aligning things gives us very good app just so far. And by the way, I forgot that you also have something like forgot password over here, but we're not going to add that right now. And to make the second part of this, actually I think it's better for us to put this here. If I can select it all, it's better to put this here, because you can see it's aligned perfectly. All the things are aligned the same, and this way we create consistency in our design. And to make this part, this is, by the way, again, we're consistent in color as well, because we're using gray here and gray here. So to make these lines, or you just click on this line and just drag, and you make sure the angle is 0. And I'm just going to copy this so I don't waste you guys' time. This is more of my thought process than anything else. And a user can also, in a lot of the apps, sign up with Google, and this is where this comes from. And by the way, I found these images on Google. If you just Google transparent Google image, you'll find this one. And again, we're going to do the same thing here. And whoops, I'm going to click on this element and drag it here. And you're going to just want to add in the text and the logos, which I'm not going to do because to not waste your time anymore. But that's basically all my thought process in the first challenge of this daily UI challenge. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.